What going on, everybody? Welcome to Buckles Locker. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. Shouts out to all the Pirates and C-Bands. Yes, indeed, I am back. Can you turn that down a little bit? Just help me out a little bit. Help me out. A little bit more. A little bit more. And can you do me a favor? Can you take that to the sink? I appreciate you. Hold it. Make sure you hold it. Don't drop it. Don't drop that. What going on with you? We in this thing. Happy holidays, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's had a good holiday. Make sure push it up on this counter. Don't. Yeah, there you go. Always put it all the way. Put it in the sink. Put it in the sink. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully, everybody. That's my daughter. She acting like she don't know how to put a plate in the sink. I don't know why she be acting like that. Okay. Go sit down and finish playing. Only want to start doing all this extra stuff. So when I do a live, she does that. Just as soon as I get on live, she want to start asking for stuff. I don't know why she do that. Anyway, go sit down. What you doing? All this extra stuff. Quit being extra. Anyway, hopefully everybody had a happy holiday or having a happy holidays when they've enjoying their time with their family, time off work or whatever you got going on. I've been enjoying my time off. Figure I'll drop a video today, a preview video. You feel me? You feel me? Come on, Saints fans. I know, Saints fans. I know I won't hit. I want to talk to you Saints fans. You think y'all like you thought you was really good. You thought you was really like that. And I said this for the jump, y'all wasn't good. One of the easiest schedules in the NFL amongst teams and can't even get over 500. They really thought Derek Carr was the missing link. And they afraid to admit their mistakes. Or mistake at quarterback. But we'll get into that. But let's talk about the Tampa Bay Bucs. Well, let me say it a little bit better than this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This Sunday at Raymond James Stadium, it should be rocking. Everybody that's in Tampa that don't have anything going on need to show up. You feel me? You feel me? I don't want to see no Aints jerseys all in Raymond James Stadium walking around looking crazy and stuff. I want to see a slew of Bucs jerseys, Levante David jerseys, Winfield Jr. jerseys, Tristan Wirfs jerseys. I want to see those jerseys. I don't want to see no Gronkowski, no Tom Brady jersey walking around. They ain't got nothing to do with this stadium, this game, this Sunday. See some Baker Mayfield jerseys, some Rashad White jerseys, Mike Evans jerseys, Chris Godwin jerseys. You feel me? I don't want to see no Tom Brady, no Gronkowski jerseys. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I bet not. Matter of fact, whoever going to the game, let me know if you see a Gronkowski and Tom Brady jersey come tomorrow. Because I'm going to call them out. And take a picture of them too. And send it to me so I can put them on blast. Live in the current. Live in the present. It's over with. Let it go. Let the Tom Brady and Gronkowski go. I bet not see now one of those jerseys walking around in that stadium. Because if I see one of them jerseys, I am going to blow a gasket. Because you know what that tells me? You don't care about the Bucs. You still on the bandwagon. That bandwagon is gone. That train is gone. I'm rooting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Homegrown fed Buccaneers. The ones that got drafted by the Bucs. I don't care about none of the extra stuff. Appreciate the Super Bowl, but I root for the Bucs. Every jersey I got is they were drafted by the Bucs. I don't hop on bandwagons. I stay with my team. And that's no disrespect to the former players that came from other teams to the Bucs, but I'm a diehard Bucs fan all day. You will never see me wear a jersey of a player that's not homegrown, raised with the Bucs. I mean, that means you was drafted by the Bucs. You will never see me with a jersey, a Shaq Barrett jersey, JPP jersey. You will never see me wear any other jersey outside of, if you've been drafted by the Bucs, I will wear your jersey. Anybody else, I don't care what they've done to the team. I'm not wearing your jersey. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. You hear me? Now let's get to the game. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear no excuses tomorrow from no Bucs fan. Win the game. That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to talk about tomorrow. Win the game. I don't want to talk about no woulda, shoulda, coulda. The Bucs should be 11. I don't care about none of that. Win the game. Go 9-7. That's all I care about. I don't care if they win 3-0. Win the damn game. Don't give me the reach back talking about, well, if we would have beat the Texans or if we would have beat the Colts. I don't care about none of that. You can miss me with that nonsense. I seen it in some of the Facebook groups. We should be. We should be. I don't care about none of that. Because you know what that tells me? You don't care about the present and the future. All you worry about is the past. I don't care what happened before this season started or during the season up until this point. I don't care about us losing to the Falcons. We beat them. I don't care about losing to the Colts. I don't care about losing to the Bills, Eagles, Lions, Texans. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. I don't care if the Bucs are 1-6 against teams with winning records. I don't care about none of that. All I want to do is the Bucs just to win this game, win the division, and relax. Nothing really matters outside of this game. Don't come talking to me about the past, and don't come talk to me about stats and none of that. I don't care about none of that. Win the game by all means necessary. No holding back. Because when this game over, I don't want to hear the Bucs should have did this and the Bucs should have did that. No, you should have just won the game. Because nothing really matters outside of that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you caught it. I'm just saying. I want to see some big games from Rashad White, Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I want to see the defense show out. Devin White. I know, I get it, but at the end of the day, I'm a Bucs fan. You know how I feel about Todd Bowles. I ain't a big fan of him. I think we got a ceiling with him. I think our ceiling is right where we at now. We're not going to be elite. We're not going to be terrible. We're going to be right in the middle as long as he's head coach. That's it. Just what it is. We'll make the playoffs. Hopefully, right? It ain't all finished yet, but you get what I'm saying. I think we're good as we're going to be with the combination of Bowles and Baker. But that doesn't matter right now. We got a chance to win the NFC South again for the third year in a row. And also put the Saints out their misery and the Saints fans. Because guess what? Look at the ramifications if the Bucs beat the Saints. I keep saying we. I include the fan base too. But if the Buccaneers beat the Saints Sunday, I believe, in my opinion, I can't put those two words together. In my opinion, I think the Saints are going to be like pushed back for like 3-4 years. Three, 4 years. I think the Bucs, in my opinion, can set the Saints back 3-4 years. They got a ton of issues. Not just injuries. We'll get to the injuries in a little bit. But not just injuries. Just the organization. They thought they were good for the last few years. And they really wasn't. It was Ricky Bobby. You think you're on fire, but you're not. The Bucs have an opportunity to put them out their misery. A lot of Saints fans crying and moaning and, oh, Derek Carr, yeah, we going to help y'all out. I know y'all don't want Dennis Allen as a head coach. I know you don't want Derek Carr as a head coach, as a quarterback. Y'all need to make some major changes. Because if y'all stay this path, y'all going to be right back to where y'all was next year. Meanwhile, the Bucs gonna keep winning the division. Atlanta, they're a quarterback away, I believe. Their defense is good. I think Atlanta's a quarterback away and a head coach away. The Carolina Panthers got about 2 more years. About 2 more years. 3 more years. Meanwhile, the Bucs are winning right now. The Saints are on the verge of being the worst team in the division. They're right there. Meanwhile, the Bucs, and I know NFC South is not really a great division, but guess what? Guess what? We're the best team in the division. Atlanta's a close second. Saints and the Panthers are, to me, are tied. I know the Saints got a better record than the Panthers, but the Panthers already rebooted. The Saints refuse to reboot. Now, the Bucs, we kind of in the middle. Like, we kind of like the Falcons and the Bucs are kind of in the middle of a reboot. Like, we're not rebooted yet, and the Falcons haven't done a total reboot yet. Well, Falcons kind of did. So I get it. So the Bucs are kind of teetering. The Bucs. I don't know. The Bucs kind of acting like Ricky Bobby. They think they elite, but they really not. And I'm just keeping it real, But hopefully we can stay right here and just add a couple more pieces through the draft. I don't believe we're going to be big players in the free agency. We're going to talk about that too. But where the Bucs are at right now was much better than the Saints. Much better than the Panthers. And the Falcons are right behind us. They need 2 pieces, a quarterback and a coach. And the Falcons are going to be a problem. I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. But as of right now, the Bucs are running the division. And we have the proof in the pudding. So come tomorrow, every play needs to be a positive play. Now, granted, it doesn't work like that, but you get what I'm saying. I know there's going to be some frustration tomorrow with the team because how they, they're not going to score every drive. The Saints do give us problems. They do. As much as we don't like them, now I don't believe that's our rival in general, but as much as they give us problems, as much as we don't like them, they give us problems. If you look at the history between the Bucs and the Saints, these games have been quite interesting. They've been quite interesting. Going back to 2020, all the way up until now. So 2 games in 2020, 2 games in 2021, 2 games in 2022, and this is the second game come tomorrow. So these last 8 games between the Bucs and Saints, you're going to look at these games. These games have been interesting. Remember, what year that was? I think it was a couple years ago where the Bucs were winning and we was doing good and we lost the game against the Saints 9-0. Remember that game? 3 field goals, they beat us. The Bucs was doing good and they 9-0. Taysom Hill was the starting quarterback and he beat us 9-0. Sean Payton was the head coach. I believe that was 2020. It was a 38-3 game and it was a 9-0 game. It was in 2020. The Bucs are doing good right now. El Fuego 4-0. They've beaten the Panthers. They've beaten the Falcons, the Packers, and the Jags. Not Panthers. Forgot what team that was. I'm not looking at the schedule right now. So it was the Packers, the Falcons, the Jags. What was the other team? Was it 4-game winning streak? You get what I'm saying. There ain't no excuses, folks. Because I'm gonna be looking at Todd Bowles all game long. I'm looking at one person tomorrow. Again, I'm gonna look at the whole game as a whole as a football game, but I'm literally looking at Todd Bowles. I'm not looking at Baker Mayfield. I'm not looking at Mike Evans. I'm looking at Todd Bowles. If anything go wrong this game, I'm looking at Todd Bowles. I don't care about nothing else. Dennis Allen is not better than Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is better than Dennis Allen by a couple steps. I can say by a lot, about 2 steps. Because they pretty much the same type of guy. Defensive driven. They like low scoring games. Questionable coaching decisions. They're similar, right? But Todd Bowles has been more successful. And I ain't saying much, but you get what I'm saying? Now let's get down to the game. The breakdown of the game. You know what I'm saying? Enough of my rambling. Let's talk about the game tomorrow. Let's talk about the on the field between the between the 20s. Red zone. Let's start with the Bucs offense. Bucs offense has been looking great. Baker Mayfield is playing out of his mind. Asterisk, it's his contract season, so of course you know how this works. A lot of players in their contract year, Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield, they tend to do a bit extra. It is not just those two guys, but around the NFL, around Major League Baseball, around the NBA, anybody that's up for a contract, they tend to ball out. There's quite a few players around the NFL up for contracts, and guess what they doing? Balling out. I'm not going to go down the list, but you get where I'm going with this. So, in other words, playing for the contract tends to bring the best out of the player. Now, history shows once they get the contract, things kind of go back to where they belong. But we'll see how that works. But in this game, I want to see that version of Baker Mayfield. Play for your contract. Play for your contract. More than likely, he's coming back in 2024. We know the story, right? We get it, right? But this game, the Green Bay Packers Baker Mayfield is what you want to see this game. I'm going to repeat. The Baker Mayfield that you want to see in this game tomorrow, you want to see the 158.3 perfect passer rating in this game. This is a game where you want to see Baker Mayfield. Okay, that 8-7. It's not elite. It's not terrible, but it's right in the middle of the pack. This is the game you want to see Baker Mayfield. Okay, you're gonna get your contract. Okay, we're gonna put a stamp on this game. It's just that simple, Baker. It ain't hard. You know, Baker know what he got to do. Win the game. Win the division, win the game, get your contract. Don't leave any question marks. And is it long term? I prefer a young quarterback. I mean, I'm not buying a Baker Mayfield jersey, but I prefer a young quarterback drafted by the Bucs. But I'm support all day, every day. Get your money, Baker. Shake and bake. Have the game of your life or another game of your life. I ain't mad at you. Get those first downs. Run for those first downs. Whatever you can do. Get out of sacks. Play out of your zone, man. Play in a different level. Play beyond your skill set. He's been doing it the last few weeks. Like, he's been doing that. He's been playing beyond what we've seen Baker play up until this year. Up until this year, Baker Mayfield has been, no, I'm good. A lot of teams want to line up, sign him. And for legit reasons. But this season, took him a while to get the offense down pat. What Canales wants done, passing the ball. It helps to have Godwin and Mike Evans. You know, it helps that Rashad White has kind of came along the last few weeks with running the ball. The O-line's still a little shaky, you know, but it looks a lot better than it did early this season and in the middle of the season. That stretch we went 1-6, it was terrible. So in this game, what Baker Mayfield, what kind of Baker will we get in this game against the Saints defense, who have not been great these last few weeks? No Marshawn Lattimore. He's out. He'll probably be out for the rest of the season. Alontae Taylor, he got benched last week against the Rams. He's not a slot guy for whatever reason. Dennis Allen got him in the slot, which is ridiculous. Right? Marcus May has not been doing great. Tyrann Mathieu, he's kind of washed. Baker Mayfield should have a good game against the Saints secondary. Demario Davis has not really made no splash plays like he usually do. Pete Warner, he's kind of a jag. Cam Jordan is washed. Carl Granderson, I mean, that's their best pass rusher. Brian Breezy, that's the interior guy. Shepard. I mean, the Saints defense have not been looking good. Have not been looking good at all. If you watched the Rams game last week, the Bucs should do the same thing. The Saints have not been good due to the head coach. Starts with him. And the Bucs have every opportunity offensively to take advantage of the Saints defense. The Saints defense basically right now in the last few weeks are mediocre at best. They're not as bad as the Jaguars defense. Like I didn't even realize, folks, Jacksonville Jaguars have a total of 32 sacks, 13 and a half by one guy. That's like 26 in the NFL in team sacks. So outside of Josh Allen, the Jacksonville Jaguars pass rush was terrible. It's terrible. The Jacksonville Jaguars secondary, I was looking at some stats. I'm like, they're terrible. They're bad. Now, the Saints are better than the Jaguars secondary. I will say that. So this game would be a little bit more tougher than the Jags game as far as being comfortable throwing the ball around. Because the Saints can play some defense against the Bucs offense because that's our division opponent. And they, when you play divisional games, they're quite tough. That's just what it is. Because you see the team twice a year. You got a lot of film on them. Now, mind you, we beat the Saints earlier this season. The Bucs beat the Saints earlier this season comfortably. From the second quarter, I was at the game. From the second quarter until the fourth quarter, the Bucs washed the Saints. Like, washed them really good. Washed and dried them and folded them up. I was at the game. I was like, wow, the Saints look bad. And ever since that moment, the Saints have not really, they kind of been middling around. They'll win a game, lose two, win two. I mean, it's weird. Just like the Bucs, kind of, sort of. And then the Bucs caught stride at the end. But if you have to look at this game, the Bucs are playing a whole lot better than the Saints. Offensively, not even close. The Saints offense is terrible with Derek Carr, right? But if you look at the Bucs offense going against the Saints defense, what can the Saints do to stop the Bucs offense, to be honest with you? Did you go back and watch week 4? I'm going to go back and watch the game again. The Saints have no answer. Dennis Allen, I think he's done. And Baker Mayfield and Dave Canales can put an end to that. And I cannot wait to be laughing at these Saints fans the entire offseason. Because once again, they're going to go into the offseason running around thinking they're really good. Over the cap. Mike Evans, no Marshawn Lattimore. Who's guarding Mike Evans? Number 37, Alontae Taylor. Paulson Albedibo. Who's guarding Chris Godwin? Alontae Taylor, gonna get cooked. Rashad White, about 127 yards away from 1,000 yards. Let's keep it 100. Godwin hit. I mean, I knew this was coming. Get Mike Evans his 1,000 yards, and in the last 4 or 5 weeks, let Godwin eat. It's right on cue. I'm surprised a lot of people didn't see this coming. I know a lot of people talking about the Godwin, targets, and he's not getting attention, he's not getting catches and all that. But it all makes sense now. Mike Evans had to eat. He had to get that 1,000 yards. It was the focal point was get the ball to Mike Evans. It was clear to see that Baker Mayfield was trying to get him them 1,000 yards. In these last few weeks, look at Godwin's numbers. Look at his targets. You don't hear no complaining from his wife. You don't hear no complaints from the wife. This was all a part of the plan. Godwin's not too far away from 1,000 yards, so there's a possibility that the Bucs can have 2,000-yard receivers and 1,000-yard running back. First 1,000-yard running back since 2015, which should let you know as a Bucs fan, the Bucs run game has been terrible since 2016. So if Rashad White get 1,000 yards, jump up and down, scream as much as you want. Be happy. I mean, that's not saying that, yeah, the Bucs finally got a running game. No, they don't. Because in order for you to have a running game, it needs to be consistent for a couple years. So for the Bucs to get their first 1,000-yard running back since 2015, it tells you a lot. Right? It basically tells you the Bucs have been a passing team since 2016. And that's a lot of pressure on every quarterback that has played in the NFL when you don't have no running game. That is hard, man. Josh Allen has had a problem with that. A running game can protect any quarterback. So let's root Rashad White on to get his 1,000 yards this next game. Hopefully, he can get 127 yards this game. Hopefully Chris Godwin eat this game and he get his 108. Yeah, okay, 108 yards. Baker Mayfield got a ton of incentives to play for. I was reading the list. I mean, it was like top 5 or top 10 in completion percentage and yards and all. They had to break down all that, but Baker Mayfield's playing for a lot of incentives, which explains why he was in the game last week, throwing the ball around late. So a lot of things are starting to kind of make sense. I don't think we're going to see Trask take any snaps. I mean, Baker Mayfield is trying to get these incentives. You feel me? I mean, he's close to a couple of them. I don't think he's going to reach all the numbers, but he's close to a couple of them. In this game, he can reach a couple of them, or, get closer. The Bucs, they got 2 receivers. They got the quarterback playing well. Rashad White has been running the ball well. Granted, the Bucs still bottom. I think. Let me look at the numbers. I think the Bucs still a bottom 7 of 10 team rushing the ball. That's what I'm saying. Stats can tell you some things, but I mean, how deep do you want to look into? You got to look at the totality of the season. You can't just look at the surface level of stats. You have to look at the totality of stats, and also look at some of the level above or below the surface level stats. Right. So let me look at the team stats right quick. Let me give y'all an idea of the Bucs running attack. The Bucs rank 30th in the NFL in running the ball. So that's what I'm saying. I know people was jumping around with Rashad White getting 1,000 yards, 89 yards a game. That's not even league average. So the Bucs still got a terrible running game, even though Rashad White has been playing well the last few weeks. Last week the running game was not good, right? But the Jacksonville Jaguars secondary was terrible. So I get that. The 2 teams that are below the Bucs are the Las Vegas Raiders and the Cincinnati Bengals. So the Bucs running game went up 2 spots, went from 32nd to 30th. I mean, yeah, take what you want out of that. You know what I'm saying? The Bucs running game is still terrible. But the last few weeks it's been looking pretty okay. I'm not saying it's looking great, but it's okay. The last few weeks, not totality. The totality of it, the Bucs running game is terrible. So, but the last 3 games they've been averaging 105 yards a game. So take what you want out of that. You know what I'm saying? But it kind of sucks too, because it's like it's crazy. It's like, dang, it's an improvement from 75 yards a game last season. Take what you want out of that. The Bucs run game at home is terrible. 79 yards a game this season. They run the ball better on the road at 98 yards a game. Does that make any sense to y'all? They run the ball terrible at home, 79 yards a game. Why is that, folks? You at home. Why your running game is bad at home? What up, Damian? JR Dot, A-Rod in the building. Payday 30. Payday. Fire the cannons. Josh, I see you, man. Who else in the building? Let me scroll up. How could the Bucs run game be terrible at home? 79 yards a game? We got to see more. Look, Rashad White is going to play an intricate part in this game. Running and catching the ball. Because without Rashad White, if he's not effective this game, we're gonna lose. I mean, not saying we're gonna lose, but he needs to be effective to help Baker Mayfield out. And one of the reasons why Baker Mayfield has been looking pretty decent is the effectiveness of Rashad White. I mean, there's been a few plays he'll drop the ball up Rashad White, and Rashad White do his thing. Yeah. Rashad White is the best guy on the team when it comes to yak. Yards after catch, he can make. How many times have you seen the first guy tackle Rashad White? Good luck with that. That dude got some wiggle on him. And I'm going to say this 1,000 times. I think he's a hell of a third down back. A lead back, I'm still like, nah, I'm good on that. I still think, and I know I'm not going to get too far in it yet, but I still think the Bucs should draft a running back. Most teams got 2 running backs. You need 2 running backs. I don't care what you say. Look around the league. Ravens, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Eagles, Lions. Even the Bears got 2 running backs. The Falcons got 2 running backs. Titans got 2 running backs. The Texans got 2 running backs. Why can't we have 2 running backs? No, the Bucs don't need to get a running back. We good with Rashad White. Get out of here with that. You don't know football. We need another running back. That's a fact. Facts. I'm gonna say S, but that's a fact. Capital, all caps. I don't care about none of that. Well, Rashad White, he balling out. Man, look. If you can't see that the Bucs need another running back, you are terrible at evaluating football. I gave you about 12, 15 teams with 2 running backs. And you can name them too. I can name a lot of teams and their running backs, 2 of them. Exactly, payday 39. It's a 2-back system. Some of the teams got 3 running backs. It's a 2 running back system. So to pair Rashad White with a really good running back, come on, fam. Or I would go with a young guy. Keep that backfield young and fresh. I think we need a speed guy to pair with Rashad White, like a speed guy. You feel me? Like a Tajay Spears. You know, a guy with really good vision running the ball. You know what I'm saying? Not saying Rashad White doesn't have great vision, but a guy that got a better feel. Rashad White is a hell of a open field runner, but we need a guy that can get some good yards in them tackles, between the tackles. I think we need some more speed back there, in my opinion. You know, and you can split the carries. The days of having a bell, unless he's a bell cow guy, like, you know, we get a bona fide number 1 guy, you need to have 2 running backs. And the days of having a bona fide number 1 is damn near over. And I think most of us can agree, Rashad White is not a number 1 running back. He's a complimentary back. Just so happen to get all the touch because the Bucs don't have anybody else. I know they got Chase Edmonds, but come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Chase Edmonds, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. But anyway, so Rashad White is going to play an intricate part of this game. I think he needs. Let me ask y'all this question in the chat. The over-under on Rashad White touches in tomorrow's game. Should it be over 25 or under 25? What's the over-under? I hope he get 25 touches. I don't know how you going, however you want to count it. I'm hoping he get 25 touches. About 5 to 7 catching, and about 18 running. Because I just think he need to get touches all over the field, like catching the ball, screen passes, route running, and running the ball. But specifically on the outside, I wouldn't run Rashad White up the middle. I don't have the advanced analytics in front of me, but his runs between the tackles, where the guard and center at, terrible. I don't know if he sees the holes well. I don't think that's his style of running. But as far as touches, I think he needs to have at least 25 touches. Running and catching combined. because I think he's effective. And those runs, the running plays need to be outside. And those pass plays, they can be anywhere. Screen pass, option route, slot, slant, go route. You feel me? And the reason why I'm bringing up Rashad White, talk about him quite a bit, is because he's been effective when you get him the ball in certain spots of the field, especially open field. You know, we know what Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, we know them. We've been with them guys for multiple years, so we know what they bring to the table. But guys like Rashad White and Baker Mayfield, you know, Cade Otton, you know, and Cole Keith, and you feel me? And Trey Palmer, we still need we need them because we know what we got with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. That's why I'm not going into details with those two, because I know what they are. The O-line gonna have to step up. The O-line, this the game they need to go take it to another level. We know what Tristan Wirfs is. We know what Tristan is. Top 5 tackle. I don't need to talk about Tristan. I don't need to talk about him. Number 78. I don't need to talk about him. But I can talk about everybody else. This game, if they've been playing, if you was to grade everybody else outside of Tristan Wirfs, if you was to give everybody a grade between 1 and 10, and if anybody been playing at 3 and 4 and 5, they need to be playing at 7. That's Luke Gedeke, Robert Hainsley, Cody Mulch, and Aaron Stinney. They all need to be playing a 7 this game, a 7 in the buck. I don't want to see no struggle. Look, Luke Gedeke gonna block Cameron Jordan. Cameron Jordan ain't gonna do nothing. Cameron Jordan ain't gonna do nothing against Luke Gedeke. Did you see the first game? I think Cam Jordan got like 2.5 sacks. What has he been doing this whole season? And they gave him an extension. An aging pass rusher, and they gave him an extension. Another terrible decision. Luke Gedeke gonna shut out Cameron Jordan. Cameron Jordan ain't gonna do nothing. And it's not saying that Cameron Jordan not a great player. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer, but this season he's washed. He's washed, and I don't even think he's gonna play. He's been hurt too. But my biggest concern is always going to be the interior. My concern is going to always be the interior. You know, interior blocking for the Bucs. And, you know, so interesting is because luckily Baker Mayfield got the scrambling ability, escapability in some plays. He's escaped quite a few sacks these last few weeks, folks. And I know a lot of us ain't going to talk about that, but shout out to Baker Mayfield and escaping some of these sacks, extending the play. Because of the O-line, missing a block, missing a stunt, missing a TE twist, missing a blitz pickup. With the O-line, we can get it. The O-line has not been great this season. They've been average at best. And that's a reach because I can't really say I can't give them above average because they're a terrible run block team as a whole. Pass blocking team, the Bucs are pretty good at pass blocking. But run blocking, terrible, even with Tristan Wirfs. So I cannot give them above average. I can only give them average at best. You can't be bottom 3 and rushing the ball and be top 12 run blocking, top 13 run blocking, and then you're a top 10 run. No, you're not a top 10 O-line. The Bucs are not even close to that. 32 teams in the NFL. There's 32 O-lines. In my rankings, the Bucs are average at best. That means no better than 16. No better than 16. I have never seen an elite O-line with a terrible run game. I've never seen it. I've never seen an O-line ranked highly with a bad run game. Because when you rank O-line as a whole, you have to rank the run blocking and the pass blocking. You can't separate two when you can separate two when you want to say, okay, who's the best pass blocking teams? You know, who's the best run blocking team. And when you separate the two, the Bucs look pretty decent in run pass blocking, but then you look at the run blocking, you be like, man, they bottom 5, bottom 7. That don't equate to an elite O-line. That's average. When you put those two together, when you put the Bucs pass blocking and the Bucs run blocking together, that's average at best. That means the best that you can rate them, if you look at the game, is 16. Anything higher than 16 is like, what you looking at? That means you are heavily putting a lot of emphasis on the pass blocking. You have to rate them 50-50, 50% run blocking, 50% pass blocking. You can't separate two and say 75% pass blocking and 25% run blocking. You can't do that. That's not how you grade equally. You have to give the equal amount of grade on both sides, pass blocking and run blocking. So this game in particular, if the Bucs run block like they're supposed to, and what they've been doing, it should be successful. The pass, or what they say, the run block, pass block, what they call it, the pass block or the pass win block rate, and the pass or the run block win rate. It needs to be, both of those sides needs to be above 70% this game. You feel me? Like both the run blocking and the pass blocking needs to be above average. When I say above average, that means it needs to be a B plus or B at least. Run blocking and pass blocking win rates need to be really good this game. Because if the Bucs run block win rate, if it's pretty good this game, above average, that means the Bucs are going to control the game. They're going to control the clock. Now, I believe the pass block win rate going to be pretty good in general because the Saints don't have a great pass rush. This is one of those teams that the Bucs match up pretty easy against, if that makes sense. There's a group of teams that the Bucs do not match up well against, and that's just what it is, just talent in the trenches, right? Bucs O-line doesn't match up well against a few teams because their front is just too much. Then there's a lot of teams that the Bucs match up well because their fronts are really bad or they're average at best. If the Bucs come across a team that has an average at best front, the Bucs can do some things. Or a terrible front, the Bucs can do some things. But the minute that front is really, really good, it changes the outlook. And we've seen this. This is why I was trying to tell y'all, we know the Bucs can beat below average teams and average teams. We know that. We've done it all season long. But what about it with the teams that can match our talent and better? We don't look good. We've seen this. So this game Sunday, the Saints front is not good. Some old guys mixed in with some average talent at best, which I think the Bucs match up pretty well. The Saints D line against the Bucs O line, it's the Bucs have the advantage. That's pretty clear. The Bucs passing game against the Saints secondary, the Bucs have the advantage. You feel me? The Bucs run game against the Saints run defense, I think the Bucs got the advantage. In my opinion. So the Bucs have the check marks. They just got to finish. You feel me? They put a stat up that the Bucs were, I think it's 1-6 against teams with winning records. Mm-hmm. The Bucs got 8 wins. Jacksonville Jaguars is the only team the Bucs beat with a winning record. Interesting. So, yeah. Currently with a winning record. Currently. Let's see, the Philly, Detroit, Buffalo, Houston, San Francisco, the Colts. Yep. 1-6. 1-6. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, the Jags. The Jags are done. I don't think the Jags are going to win another game. No, their secondary is terrible. Whew. Terrible. Yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars are done. I think the Texans are going to take that division. Which losing to the Texans is not as bad as y'all thought it was. But let's get back to the game. The Bucs have all the advantages on the offensive side of the ball. How can the Bucs mess this up? I don't know. I don't know how the Bucs can mess this up. And when you look at the breakdown, let me give you the breakdown. We're gonna spend a little time on this. All right, so the Bucs averaging 21 points a game, 17th in the NFL, much better than last year. All right, well, I can say much better, but better than last year, middle of the pack. The Bucs averaging 316 yards a game, 23rd in the NFL. Yards per play, 5 yards per play, 5.1 yards per play, 20th in the NFL. Third down, the Bucs rank 8th in the NFL in third down conversion at 42%. Fourth down, the Bucs rank 2nd in the NFL at 64%. Red zone TDs, the Bucs are 25th in the NFL at 48%. TDs a game, the Bucs are 18th in the NFL at 2.3. So the Bucs offense is a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. Let's be real. It's a mixed bag. But when you look at the New Orleans defense give up 19 points a game. That's 9th in the NFL. They give up 321 yards a game. That's 14th in the NFL. Yards per play for opponents, 5.1, 14th in the NFL. Saints are really good at stopping the opponents on third down, 34%, 4th in the NFL. They're really good at stopping opponents on the fourth down, 41%, 5th in the NFL. They're number 10 in the NFL at red zone defense at 52%, 10th in the NFL. They only give up 2 TDs a game. That's 7th in the NFL. So once again, the Saints defense is not a slouch. But in this current game, I think the Bucs have the advantage. But as a whole, the Saints defense is not terrible, which I think this game is going to be interesting. Bucs running the ball. They run the ball 42% of the time, 16th in the NFL. It used to be 49%. The Bucs have thrown the ball a lot more than run the ball. So the Bucs throw the ball 57% of the time. They run the ball 42% of the time. The Bucs average 3.4 yards a rush, 32nd in the NFL. Terrible. They got to get better than that. They run the ball 26 times a game, 19th in the NFL, 30th in the NFL in rushing yards per game. So there you go. And the Saints' run defense is terrible. The Saints' run defense give up 126 yards a game, 25th in the NFL. That's what I'm saying. Rashad White need to have a big game. They give up 4.5 yards per rush. Rashad White, paging Rashad White, run the ball. Run the ball. The Saints' front seven cannot stop the run. They're terrible. I said this about 10 minutes ago. I'm just giving y'all the numbers too. Just saying, give y'all the numbers to match up with what your eyes tell you. The Bucs passing offense. They throw the ball 57% of the time, 17th in the NFL. Completion percentage, 64%, 18th in the NFL. Passing yards per play, 6.8, 11th in the NFL. Passes per game, 33 per game, 19th in the NFL. Passing yards per game, 227 yards a game, 17th in the NFL. Interceptions thrown, Baker has done a great job in that department. 5th in the NFL, interceptions thrown percentage-wise, 1.59%. Quarterback percentage been sacked, 13th in the NFL, 6%, 6.5%. The Saints secondary, they intercept the ball quite a bit. They I think they're top 5 in turnovers or interceptions. So they get a lot of interceptions. They allow 58% completion percentage, 2nd in the NFL. So it's hard to throw the ball on the Saints. It's hard for whatever reason. They only allow 5.6 yards per pass play, 6th in the NFL. The opponent's passes per game, 32 per game. They throw the ball 32 times a game against the Saints. That's ninth in the NFL. 197 yards a game they give up through the air. That's seventh in the NFL. That's pretty good. They intercept the ball 2.8% of the time. And they can't sack the quarterback. They're 27th in the NFL in sack percentage at 5.94%. So, what that tell you? The Bucs have been throwing the ball pretty good the last few weeks. Baker Mayfield has been doing an exceptional job. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Cole Keaton, and Payne Durham got in there. But the Saints secondary, they only give up 194 yards a game, 5.9 yards per pass play, and 58% completion percentage. So this is going to be fun. Bucs passing game these last few weeks has been exceptional, outstanding. The Saints pass defense is pretty good. What gives, folks? Who's going to bend? Who's going to break? What's going to give this game? Saints pass defense or the Bucs pass off? Because it's going to come down to that as far as the Bucs scoring points. They're going to have to move the ball through the air. But I would throw a curveball and use that Rashad White card. Saints can't stop the run. You feel me? So there you have it as far as the Bucs offense versus the Saints defense. Saints pretty much banged up. The numbers show that the Saints defense is still pretty good, but they can't stop the run. Rashad White, paging Rashad White. I'm telling you, he needs to have a big game running the ball, at least 15 carries, minimum. If Rashad White can't average four yards a carry in this game, that's a problem. The Saints' run defense is terrible. I'm gonna say it again. I want y'all to pay attention to that closely tomorrow. Saints run defense. Focus on that. Don't worry about the Saints pass defense. Focus on the Saints run defense. The Bucs need to control the clock, run the ball, make your timely third down pass plays. There's no reason why Rashad White can't have a big game running the ball. The numbers show it. Bucs passing the ball, I get it. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. The Saints they're gonna be ready for it. I mean, the numbers show the Saints pass defense is not bad. Top 10. you just ain't gonna be chucking the ball around. If you chuck the ball around the Saints secondary, they're bound to get interceptions. They're top 5 in interceptions as far as the back end. So they do get interceptions. So I like this game. This game fun to watch, man. Bucs offense, man, been looking good, but don't underestimate the Saints defense. I'm gonna put it out there like that. I don't like the Saints, but I'm just saying, be careful. Be careful, Canales. Do your thing, though. Keep doing your thing. Don't be afraid, but just be smart. Now, let's flip this on the other side. The Bucs defense versus the Saints offense. No Michael Thomas. He's out for the season. He probably won't play for the Saints ever again. Ryan Ramczyk not playing. The Saints have a weak O-line. Their O-line is very weak. Very weak. New Orleans can't run the ball. They're 30th in the NFL in yards per rush. 3.6. Yikes. The Bucs only allow 3.9. 8th in the NFL, by the way. Rushes per game. 27 rushes a game. 13th in the NFL. That's what the Saints do. They run the ball 27 times a game. But they only average 98 yards a game. 21st in the NFL. That's what Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill. You would think the Saints would be at least in the middle of the pack with Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill. Jamal Williams has been a disappointment. I think he led the NFL in touchdowns last year. He can't get no carries in the Saints. I don't know why the Saints signed him in the first place. But anyway, 21st in the NFL, 98 yards a game. Saints can't run the ball. They're one-dimensional. They're ineffective. You feel me? So the Bucs should do a very good job, and they've done a very good job these last few years against Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill tends to be a little problem. But Levante David, Devin White, keep doing your thing, Devin White. Keep playing like that. KJ Britt, Winfield Jr., Vita, do your thing. We're gonna take out Alvin Kamara and make Derek Carr beat us, and that ain't happening. New Orleans pass offense. Derek Carr, 65% completion percentage, 12th in the NFL. Bucs allow 65% completion percentage. That's 17th in the NFL. Opponents throw the ball on the Bucs 62% of the time, 28th in the NFL. In other words, that means when teams see the Bucs pass defense, they lick their chops. They throw the ball against the Bucs secondary, Bucs defense, 62% of the time, 28th in the NFL. That's only 4 other teams with secondaries or back 7 that get challenged more. Because other teams see the Bucs secondary as food. Outside of Winfield Jr., man, let's be real. Outside of Winfield Jr., man, it ain't nothing to be jumping up and down, man. I know, I get it. The bend don't break. But outside of Winfield Jr., man, the Bucs need some upgrades, man. They do. Carl Davis out, by the way. Shaq Barrett is out. I think he had a groin injury. Shaq Barrett is out. Carl Davis out, concussion. I don't think we're going to miss him, to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I don't think we're going to miss those guys. I think the Bucs are just fine without neither one of those. They're fine without either one of those guys. New Orleans pass yards per play, 6.5, middle of the pack. The Bucs allow 7 yards per catch, 7.1 yards per catch, 27th in the NFL. Teams throw the ball 37 times a game against the Bucs, 29th in the NFL. Saints pass the ball 36 times a game, 9th in the NFL. A lot of dinking and dunking. Passing yards per game, the Saints average 236 yards a game, 12th in the NFL. Opponents' passing yards per game against the Bucs, 264 yards a game, 32nd in the NFL. The Bucs' pass defense is terrible. I get it, the bend don't break, but just in general, it's not it. Outside of Winfield Jr., that's even Winfield Jr. back there patrolling. The Bucs' pass defense is not good. That's just like Tristan Wirfs on the O-line. With Tristan Wirfs on the O-line, the Bucs O-line is not really that great. And the same thing with the Bucs secondary. All pro back there in the Bucs secondary is bottom of the barrel. That's not good, man. The Bucs sack the quarterback 7.3% of the time. That's 15th in the NFL. Saints allow 5.3% as far as sack percentage. So the Bucs front 7 can stop the run and make Derek Carr beat you. I don't have no faith in Derek Carr. I don't like my quarterbacks like Derek Carr. Derek Carr is terrible. I said that in week 4 when I was at the game in New Orleans. Terrible. But our cornerbacks, man. Oh, man. Other state, the Bucs looks like the Bucs gonna have to get that secondary figured out. That's 32nd in the NFL, man. 264 yards a game. Oh my Lord, that is crazy. 32nd in the NFL and pass defense. Oh my, this is one of the reasons why we're not going to win NFC Championship and we're not going to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna put that out there, folks. This is why we don't match up well, because our secondary and our head coach, not good, folks. But teams like the Saints, yeah, we can get them. We can get by against teams like the Saints, but when you get to that the creme de la creme, we're gonna lose, hands down, because of the coaching in the secondary, the lack of can't match up well against teams with really good fronts. You feel me? So let me read y'all the injury report. Eric McCoy. I'm looking at our Bucs injury report. Cole Keefe's out. Raheem Jarrett, he's on IR. Mike Green, IR. Shaq Barrett out, growing. Carlton Davis, concussion, out. Ryan Jensen, IR. Russell Gage, IR. So the Bucs in general kind of healthy, and I mean, outside of a couple guys, but look at the Saints. Let's read the Saints injury report. Ooh, Lord. Ooh, Lord. Eric McCoy, foot, probable. Cam Jordan, ankle, probable. Jordan Howden, DB, probable. Ryan Ramczyk, out, knee injury. He probably going to retire because his knees all messed up. Or I think it's the right knee or left knee, one of these. But cartilage, he has very little cartilage left in his knee. Ryan Ramczyk. Lonnie Johnson, cornerback, out, knee. Chris Olave, ankle, probable. Alvin Kamara, illness, questionable. Peyton Turner, toe, IR. Isaiah Foskey, their second round pick, questionable, quadricep. O-lineman Nick Salaviri, IR, out. Kendrick Miller, TCU running back rookie, out, ankle. Malcolm Roach, IR, defensive lineman. Marcus May, shoulder, IR, he's not playing. Marshawn Lattimore, ankle, IR. Michael Thomas, knee, IR. Eno Benjamin, Achilles, IR. Andrew Dowell, linebacker, IR. Trey Turner, guard, quadricep, IR. Woo. Bruh, can this Saints, y'all gonna be okay? My goodness, the Saints are just patchwork. That's what I'm saying. The Bucs should win this game. And as I wrap this video up, Bucs special teams, don't mess it up. Chase with the Chase been kicking them 50-yard field goals. We needed that. Exactly, my Christ. Remember what I told y'all at the very, 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 very beginning of the season about the Bucs? Remember what I told y'all? The Bucs need to avoid major injury. And for the most part, we've done that. And we need other teams to be injured. I told y'all, injuries factor in too, folks. Injuries do factor in. I said this at the beginning of the season, the Bucs need to avoid major injury long term. And the Bucs have done that. The Bucs have been nicked up here and there with secondary with Dean and Davis. Winfield Jr. had some nicked up injuries, and Lombante and Devin White. But we haven't had any major injuries, like out for the season, IR. Jansen and Russell Gage, we already know that. But we've avoided the major injury. And the teams that we've been playing have been bitten by the injury. But I told y'all, injuries will help the Bucs win some of these games. And it has done that for a fact. But the Saints, oh my Lord, they got a ton of guys injured on IR, out, probable. Like, good Lord. It's one of the reasons why they're bad now. Injuries do factor in, folks, in the win-loss column. Injuries do factor in. Stinks, don't it? Hey, look on the bright side. At least we not the Saints injury report. Jeez. Boy. And not having Shaq Barrett and Carlton Davis out there, I don't think it's not gonna make a major difference. Shaq Barrett has been basically useless. And Seatbelt Davis has not been good. I hope the Bucs move on from him, to be honest with you. And not only Zion McCullum, he's not the best, but he's doing what he can. Availability. And Jamel Dean, he's injury prone. Look, the Bucs need to overhaul that secondary outside of Winfield Jr. Ryan Neal, Dee Delaney, okay, he's good. I think we know where the Bucs need to address some problems at. But Bucs special teams, Chase he's been on point, been money. Jake Kamada, we know about him, the big leg, change the field position. The return units, I don't care about the return units. I can care less about Keith Armstrong and his return units. With Devin Tompkins, he's been a disappointment, in my opinion. Devin sideline Tompkins. Devin run to the sideline Tompkins. That young man love running to the sideline, looking to get out of bounds right away. The Bucs return units, kickoff return, punt return, man, just doesn't offer anything to me. And I don't like Keith Armstrong. But Jake Cremata and Chase McLaughlin. Yeah, we good right there. But the return units offer nothing. Coaching. Todd Bowles versus Dennis Allen. We got the advantage there. I know, Mama Christ. If Devin Thomas get that ball, he be ready to run to the sideline. Like, dude, go up the field, man. That boy be ready to run to the sideline. Like, what the problem is? You just like old buddy from last year. What's his name? Darden? Jalen Darden? Where is he at now? Where's Jalen Darden at? Running to the sideline right now. That boy love run to the sideline. Like, come on, man. Go to the field. There's a lot to get on my nerves doing that. Anyway, yeah. We have the advantage in a lot of areas, folks. In totality of it, the situation, the Bucs should win this game. I got the Bucs winning. What is your prediction in this game? What is your score prediction? Who you think is going to win this game, and what is your score prediction? Yeah, he had a good return against the 49ers. And we also do realize it's a 17-game season, right? I mean, it's easy to spot that one out now. Now spot something else out. Tuna fish. Spot some other returns out that he had that was like, oh yeah. You're gonna reach pretty hard for those, man. You know, you don't want to get hit hard. Why we can't get a Ray Agnew with somebody like that? I know, Darkness with the Browns. Okay. What are you doing over there? Running to the sideline over there too? What's your score prediction, man? Who you got winning the game? Does any Bucs fan have the Bucs losing? Because I don't. I got the Bucs winning. Give me your scores. I need your scores now. Because I'm hungry. What up, King Cook? Give me your scores. I need your score predictions. I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to get y'all mind right. I got the Bucs winning. 9-7 coming up. 35-7 Bucs. Let's go. 23-7 Bucs. Okay, I like that score. I like that score. I like that score. 35-10. Barbara, what's up, baby girl? Long time no see. Sir Boss in the building. Long time no see. We got a couple people that ain't been here in a while. 35-14. Barbara said 35-10. Jonathan said 27-13. T. Bray fans. T. Brays fans 2008. He says 27-17. Fire the Cannons. 24-17 Bucs in a close game. And you heard the Saints fans. They some of the Saints fans have finally come around to admit that's how bad their situation is. Now, there's still half of the fan base still delusional, and they still think Derek Carr. That's the Derek Carr fanboys. The Raider fans that love Derek Carr came over to the Saints fan base. They still believe in Derek Carr, right? It's over with. In my Darius, in my Mopar Buck voice, it's over with. Saints fans, it's over with. Give it up. From coast to coast, give up the ghost. It's over with. We finna set y'all back 3 years with this victory. And it's going to be embarrassing, too. I'm going to give y'all my score prediction in a second. 23-20 Bucs. Bassmaster. What up, man? Where you been at? John K. 23-10 Bucs. Brent O'Neill. 27-20 Tampa Bay. Carr will get garbage yards. Yeah. He's the emperor of empty yards. Emperor of empty yards. Matt Moscona. Saints ESPN, I think it's 106 FM 106.9 ESPN. Emperor of empty yards. He can't stand Derek Carr. Matt Moscona. He can't stand. He came up with that the Emperor of empty yards. Payday 34-16 Bucs. Said we don't want Carr back as our quarterback. He's trash. Willie Galloway. Oh, Barbara, you a Saints fan? Okay. So a Saints fan came here and admit that the Saints are gonna lose. Okay, I got you. Shout out to Barbara Tarif. Tardif. I don't know if I said the last name right, but Willie Galloway, 28-17 Tampa. Tuna Fish, 38-21. Go Bucs. We got any more predictions there? We got any more people that didn't put their prediction in? I think the Bucs gonna blow the Saints out. You can see it coming. You can see this coming. You can see it coming. Come on. How could you not see this coming? You can tell the Bucs gonna blow the Saints out. You can see going into the game. You can see like it has all the writing on the wall. All the writings are on the wall. The Bucs are just gonna run away with this game. Mr. Toxic Black, Saints, please win. Why? Why, Mr. Toxic Black? Why you want the Saints to win? Matter of fact, go get some of them Saints fans and bring their butts over here. Go get some of them Saints channels. You know, State of the Saints podcast. Who else? Nick Underhill, Bobby Hebert. There's a couple other ones. All those Saints channels, Matt Moscona. They got a couple other ones. All those Saints channels. What y'all? I want to hear them talk. I want to hear what they got. I'm gonna go check their channels out. I'm gonna see what they saying. Oh, Toxic Black. Oh yeah, that's right. He's a Falcons fan. Who y'all got? Who y'all got? Atlanta. Who you got? Mr. Toxic Black. Who y'all got? Who y'all got? Falcons. Falcons fans. Bears. Oh, hey, look, that ain't gonna be easy. Bears. I'm just saying, y'all should better win that game. But I'm just saying. You know what? You know what would be crazy? The scenario before I get my score prediction. Wouldn't this be crazy if the Saints beat the Bucs, Falcons beat the Bears? That means all three teams, all three will be 8-8. Wouldn't that be crazy? Falcons beat the Bears, Saints beat the Bucs. All three teams 8-8 going into week 17. That will be insane. And Atlanta got the Falcons next week. And the Bucs got the Panthers. Boy, with that, Matthew, what up, man? You're late. You late, Matthew. Put your finger up, man. You late, Matthew. Put your finger up. You just can't walk in the facility and go sit down. I can't let you just walk in the locker room and go sit down. Everybody looking at you, Matthew Miller. You the last one walking in. You know when you're late to a function and you walking in and everybody looking at you and you trying to like not look at nobody eyeballs. That's how we're looking at Matthew right now. Like, really? You got that finger up. There you go. That. Put that finger up. There you go. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Thought you were gonna sit in the back row. Stuck at work? Okay. Excused. I appreciate you putting that finger up though. Making that money. Hey, getting that goo wop. Yeah, I ain't mad at you, Matt. I ain't mad at you. Get that goo wop. Get that goo wop. That's what I've been doing. I've been trying to I call it upwards mobility. Upwards mobility. That's what I call it. In the workforce, you always need to have upwards mobility. Yeah, Mr. Toxic Black, the Panthers have been playing pretty decent. I'll give them that. It seemed like Bryce Young kind of starting to figure it out a little bit. They lost to Green Bay 33-30, but Bryce Young, he's looking a little bit better. They still need some help though. But yeah, Panthers, the Panthers played us pretty good too. We beat them 21-18. The Panthers, look. I'm just saying. I don't want that to come to that situation. I don't want week 18 or week 17 to be win or go home for the Bucs. I want the Bucs to win this game and get it out the way. Don't wait. Don't depend on week 17 to get a victory over the Panthers. Because think about this. Do y'all understand the ramifications? From a mental perspective, if the Bucs just so happen to lose this game, which I don't think they will, you know how much of a letdown that would be? Then you got to go play the Panthers in Charlotte, the last game of the season with your season on the line, people's jobs on the line. Because look, if it comes down to that scenario and the Bucs got to go to Charlotte at 8-8. Todd Bowles coaching for his job. Coaching for his job, man. So you kind of want to beat the Saints tomorrow. You don't want it to come down to that. But here's my score prediction. I got the Bucs winning in the blowout. I got the Bucs winning in the blowout. 34-10. Yep. 34-10. I got the Bucs winning. I got the Bucs winning 34-10. The game will be over The game will be over at halftime. Like there will be nothing that Carr can do. I think we're gonna be up like 17-3 halftime. Yep. 34-10. The Bucs win. Move to 9-7. Win the division. We good to go. Week 17 will be pretty much just if you want to play that game, fine. But you win the playoffs. Must avoid injury. We must avoid any major injury. Wharfs, Winfield Jr., Baker Mayfield, Evans, Godwin, Levante David. Must avoid major injury. So, shouts out to all the Powers of Sea Bandits. Hopefully, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. I will. I'm hungry. My daughter hungry. Shouts out to all the Powers of Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining another episode of Buckles Locker. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, right? Oh, we're going to be in that thing. We going to be in that thing. We in that thing. Bomb that bit, Baker. Bomb that bit. Bomb that bit, Baker. Shake and bake. Fire those cannons. Seize the day. Raise the flag. Hashtag life after Brady. Hashtag playoffs. Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag probability versus possibility. Hashtag don't get mad at me. I don't play the game. I just talk about it. Hashtag reality of optimism. Hashtag finish strong. Hashtag NFC South champions. Hashtag trenches matter. Bucs fans, Pirates Sea Bandits, I'll see y'all tomorrow, bright and early. Let's get it. I'll holler. Buckles Locker signing out.